This is a lesson on slope-intercept form. First, it is y equals mx plus b. The m is the slope, the b is the y-intercept, or the place where the graph crosses the y-axis. So, if we had a simple example, if we had 3, 8, and then 0, 5, 0, 5 would be the y-intercept, because if you graphed it, 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 8 is the other point. So there's the line that we're talking about, and what we can do is we can figure out the slope. So it goes from 8 to 5, which is down 3, and then from 3 to 0, which is also down 3, so it actually has a slope of 1. So if we plug in the 1 in front of the x, and then we add 5, because that's the place it crosses the y-axis at positive 5, then the equation of that line is 1x, or just plain old x plus 5. So if we needed to graph one of these, let's do a little bit more complicated one. Negative 3/5 x plus 2. Two, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not the best graph in the world, but not too bad. So we're going to start at positive 2. And from positive 2, we're going to go down 3. So down 3 looks like that, to negative 1. And then we're going to go over 5, that way. So the yellow is for the numerator. You're going up or down, so it's negative. We go down 3. The green is the denominator, so we go to the right because it's positive 3. So at the point 5, negative 1, right there. And we can kind of connect them and extend and call it good. Okay, one more graph. Y equals negative 2x plus 4. So again, positive 4 is my y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 2 is my slope, so I can go down 1, 2 over 1. And if I keep doing that same pattern down 2 over 1, I can just get a series of points that are all on the same line. So y equals negative 2x plus 4 is that. So what if we needed to find an equation? So if we had a graph, so we have this graph, we see the point on the y-axis is 0, 2. And then we can find the slope. We're going to go up 1 and over, looks like 1, 2, 3. So the slope is 1/3. So then we just plug them in. 1/3 x plus 2. What if we had 2 points? 7, 8, and then 10, 14. Now, those are pretty big numbers here, so I really don't want to graph it, so I'm not going to. I'm going to find the slope. 8 to 14 is up 6. 7 to 10 is up 3. So my slope is 2. 2 over 1. Okay, so I plug it in. I know it's 2x plus something. Now, a lot of people make the mistake to plug in one of those two numbers, one of the y values, in for b. That's not the way it works. Only if the x value is a 0. So what we can do is we can pick either of the points. I'm going to use a 7, and I'm going to plug it in for the x. I'm going to use the 8, and I'm going to plug that in for the y. So I should get 8 equals 2 times 7 plus b. What that does is it gives me one variable, and at this point we should be pretty good at solving one variable equations. Subtract 14 from both sides. Negative 6 equals b. So then I can rewrite my equation, y equals 2x minus 6. Let's do one more where the slope isn't so nice. Alright, so let's go with 5, 4, and then let's go with 8, 1. So if I find my slope here, I'm going down 3. Well, let me actually change that. I don't want that to be that nice. Let's go to 8, 0. So it's actually down 4 and then over 3. So my slope is negative 4/3. So it's not an integer, and we plug it in for the m so that we can now solve for b. Well, I don't know about you, but I like 0, so I'm going to use the point 8, 0. 0 is the y value. 8 is the x value. So I get negative 32/3 plus b equals 0. Now, if you think about that for a second, you'll understand that the opposite value of negative 32/3 will be the value of b, because I'm going to add 32/3 to both sides. Now, most of the time, I wouldn't have a 0 over there. In fact, what I'd like to do is I'd like to plug in the 5, 4 so that you can see that it works for either of the points. If I plugged in the 5 and the 4, I would still get 32/3 for my b value. So if I plugged in 4 equals negative 4/3 times 5 over 1 plus b, I should still get out the same result. So this is going to be negative 20/3. And since this is going to be over here, I'm going to combine them. I'm going to call that 12/3, because 4 is equal to 12 divided by 3. And then I'm going to add 20/3 to both sides. And maybe you can already see it. 12 and 20 is 32. Keep the thirds, and there's my b value. So either way I did it, I get 32/3, and that's actually a pretty good way to check it out. So now I'm going to plug that in right here for b. I'm going to rewrite my equation, y equals negative 4/3 x plus 32/3. And that is how you find an equation in slope-intercept form.